Welcome back, comrades. This is Gaming with Austin, and today we are on episode 33 of season 2 of the Utopian Community series. Let's get this loaded up. Just yawning. That's all. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna build more of the rooftop. One thing I discovered is that the current Chancellor of Germany is not going to join the race for the 2021 election in Germany. Her name is Angela Merkel. If I was to endorse someone, I'd endorse a socialist. I'd be endorsing a socialist. Like a foreign politician, I'd endorse someone who favors democracy and socialism. Let's just hope Russia does not rig that election. Because Vladimir Putin is like I'd call him the second coming of Stalin. I'd call him the second coming of Joseph Stalin. I oppose Stalinism, yet still favor communism. What we need is a more libertarian society, too. Not just a communist society, but also a libertarian society. Because forcing people to abide by our laws can have negative consequences for both you and the people you're forcing the laws onto. Instead of having a military, what if we had a militia? Like communal police. Like, we should all share our assets. Three blocks thick. Mm-hmm. 24 blocks thick now. Mm-hmm. 24 blocks thick now. Like 24 blocks wide would be 24 blocks is currently the thickness of the bezel. That bezel is only going to get thicker and thicker. It will gradually the duration between increasing the thickness of the bezel is slow. It's going to get shorter in a linear fashion. It's going to get shorter and shorter in a linear fashion. thicken the bezel to about 25. 25 blocks thick. The thickness of that bezel is only going to get thicker. I write down the coordinates so you could remember the current state. Blocks thick. $30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 8. 25. 7, 8, 9, 30. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40. I know this is going to be a couple of months before the farm is complete. I know this is going to be a couple of months. But I'm going to get it done sometime before June. I'm going to get the farm done sometime before June. I'm going to get the farm done sometime before June. As soon as the farm gets done, I'd start going towards building a high-rise. As I make the videos, I sometimes will brainstorm my ideas. The reason it's not possible to eradicate all competition, that is because if we did, entire ecosystems, like, if we were to eradicate competition on an interspecific level, like between every animal species out there, entire ecosystems would collapse. The entire ecosystem would collapse. Competition within a species is kind of dangerous. But we need interspecific competition would be better off. Like, competition between species. To prevent... That is because different animals have different needs for food. Smaller mammals lose heat very quickly. It all has to do with the low volume to surface area ratio. Larger animals like us humans don't experience heat loss as fast as rodents. The rodents include hamsters, mice, rats, squirrels, chipmunks, yes, even the groundhog, also known as a woodchuck. By the way, it's Groundhog Day, if you're wondering. How woodchucks get their name? Possibly based on urban legend. They like to chuck wood, meaning throw as far as possible. Just like I was actually able to chuck a frisbee 50 yards, or about 45 meters. Or about 44 meters. In the metric system. What America needs to go towards doing is using the metric system. America needs to go towards using the metric system. Our domestic cats like to eat rodents. Like, us collectively. Our domestic cats, like, when you leave them outside, they like to hunt. And sometimes they'd even bring home a gory gift or two. The real reason they do it is to teach you how to hunt. They do it to teach you how to hunt. Eventually, once I get the farm done, I'd start going towards building the high-rise. I'd focus on building a high-rise apartment building. Once that gets finished, I'd go towards building an infirmary, which is also known as a hospital. With chucking a frisbee, there's this game on the internet called Whack Your Boss. There's one way to whack your boss, which involves chucking a clock like a frisbee, like you would a frisbee. There's another method of... But seriously, don't do it or else you will lose your job. Video games are different from real life. Seriously, don't be chucking a frisbee at your boss. Seriously, don't do it. You could literally get fired from your job if you do it, and possibly get even get arrested. Seriously, don't chuck a frisbee at your boss. Don't chuck a clock at your boss. But if there is no boss, because your boss is the people around you, even then though, don't chuck a frisbee at anyone, directly at anyone. $35. The bezel is about 35 blocks thick now. Now we're gonna make it 36. We're gonna make it as thick as I can throughout this episode. My critique on why we need immigration reduction, it's not that I'm being racist or anything. We have to do population control. Because if we don't do our best to control our population growth, nature is gonna make the decision for us. You know, it's not just part of human nature that we tend to be lazy. It's not just part of human nature for us to be lazy. It's not just human nature. It's a survival tactic to help us survive a famine. It's a survival tactic. It's a survival tactic to help us survive a famine. Because back in the Stone Age, we had to be lazy. We didn't have a choice. People had to work a lot harder for food compared to now. Both physically and psychologically. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 50. The reason we tend to have greedy habits, it's the same reason other animals compete too. Because competition for resources, like in scarcity, whenever there's an abundance of food, there is no need to compete. Whenever there's an abundance of resources. If you want to know why people who lose all that weight end up gaining it back within about 2 years, within about 2 to 5 years or so, it all has to do with the fact that they did it to help survive a famine. So they could store that fat throughout the famine. Smaller animals don't have the ability to store huge amounts of fat. Because obesity does more harm to them than it does us humans. Because smaller animals lose heat a lot more quickly. Which means that mice will end up stealing all the grain we store. Same thing with rats and other small mammals. Our natural instincts are there to help maximize our chances of surviving food shortage. Most societies have experienced warfare of some sorts. Sometimes the cause of the warfare, the war, can be related to food scarcity. Which probably explains why there's constant warfare going on in Africa right now. It has to do with food and territory occupied by very specific religions. Which probably explains why I criticize religion. We shouldn't have to steal someone else's land. In fact, we should all share the land. The real reason everything has a cost, it rolls down to the laws of thermodynamics. Even if it doesn't cost money, it'll cost something. Whether it be your energy reserves. Even walking is not free, because it requires energy to walk. When you don't have enough energy to walk because you're malnourished, when you become malnourished, you wouldn't be able to, you're not, like, severely malnourished like those kids in Yemen, who are struggling with malnutrition because of the Yemeni civil war. They're too weak to walk. This is proof that walking is not, even something as basic as walking is not free. Something as basic as walking is simply not free at all. That is because it requires energy. The truth about why capitalism is failing all of us now, compared to the 1980s, back in the 1980s, you could survive on minimum wage. The reason why dictators refuse to cut their salaries or pay taxes, that is because they rule a country with an iron fist. They use that wealth to show off their power to the people. Anyways, this is it for this video. Don't forget to leave a like if you like this video. Dislike if you disliked it. Subscribe for more. Share this with your comrades on social media. As always, thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more. And, last but not least, peace out. And by the way, I've reached 400 followers on my Instagram. As always, thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more. And peace out.